somebody else define you and tell you what you're experiencing, because they're like directing the witness, right? You don't want to lead the witness. You want to tarry with and allow the person to access their own information and get what's relevant for them in that session. But I recommend people do sessions ongoing. For when I first landed with Dr. Lessin, because I'm a lifelong experiencer and I was doing talk therapy, but guess what talk therapy does? It keeps you in your head. So I needed to go into regression therapy, and when I started going down and inward by a highly experienced facilitator, I started going deeper and deeper. And it's like layers. It's like Russian dolls. So you might get this much one week, and then next week you go deeper and deeper and deeper. And then one experience will open to another, to another, to another. And, I highly recommend you record it, and then you can write encyclopedias of information when you get done with it all. And sometimes you access like your ambassador self. See, I have access where I've been on at council meetings, which are smaller, 20, 30 people, even a dozen, and I've been to a meeting with 100,000 unique species. So when earlier you were talking about what do they look like everything. And what they told me at the end of the meeting, they said, first of all, we created this arena for this meeting, but when we're gone, it dissolves. We are creating it with our group mind, right? So it doesn't need to exist somewhere. We just, it's gone until we assemble again, and then we create the facility. And then they said that they only were showing me the ones that wouldn't scare the Janet part of me. There's a part of me that's an eternal being and isn't freaked out by anything because I've seen it all and I've been it all, right? But the little avatar self, Janet, we're in a symbiotic relationship. Our soul, oversoul, higher essence is here in this human avatar having a human experience, and we're in this program that's been created by all of us in the virtual reality game. And so in order not to freak out and stay in the game, you kind of have to be kind to your little Janet self, your little Dave self, your little Bruce self, right? So you don't have a heart attack, because we are fragile. These forms are very fragile. So anyway, that's been my experience, and I'm really blessed, and I feel sorry for people that have negative experiences. And I understand, but a lot of times it's like the cat in Tibet, right? If you ask my cat what we were doing to her at Tibet, she would just tell you all kinds of horror stories about how mean these people are, including Mommy taking her to Tibet. How dare she, So it's all perspective. I'm not sure what they're doing. Part of what I get from interviews is that they're monitoring us because of the horrendous pollution and everything we're exposed to. And, we're killing ourselves, killing the land, the water, everything. There's, things are happening. And they're accelerating very rapidly. Wait till you see this summer. We ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I believe the same way, Janet, that they're trying to monitor us, the nuclear and the waste and the toxins that we're doing to ourselves, and maybe that's why they mutilate cattle, is see how much toxins they're absorbing. That's our food source, and they know that, so that's where they're going to find out, or take take a chronological all the way to the end of where we're at, and maybe they might step in sometime. It's getting, like you said, it's speeding up quite a bit.
Well, I think they are intervening, and they're accelerating their contact with individuals. And we have all of the technologies already invented to clean up this whole planet. We can restore it back to its pristine state. I'm talking to a couple physicists. They already have they're reinventing the technology that the Secret Space Program has. The Secret Space Program has capabilities of getting here across the solar system in minutes, right? So we're already out. We're already in other galaxies. We're a very highly advanced secret space race, but we're not giving it to our citizens, which is a sin. It's an atrocity, and we deserve to have it. So we're lobbying. We're working together as a team. I have a bunch of people that are working with me to get the truth out. And if our governments won't do it, then it'll be through other methods, like these radio shows. So I really applaud everybody that's on the show today, and I thank you very much. So just to, hang in there. We do have the technology. We can cure all diseases. We can reverse this planet back to pristine. we can restore heads. We can revive the dead. Oh, and I wanted to say one more thing to Bruce. My husband and I have researched all the information that your wife was getting. We're going back. We started studying with Becker. I said to you, my husband's a PhD anthropologist from UCLA. He's going to be 79 years old in July, so he's been doing this all of his life. He was a savant, went to UCLA at 16, been studying all this all of his life. So, so she's accessing the Anunnaki period. That's the ones behind the Bible. But there's other species. We've had species coming to visit us and terraforming this planet since it was created. Okay, I'm taking up too much time. I'm going to pass the baton, but thank you for listening.
Thank you. Okay. We've got to go forward. We're doing. This is on the hour, folks. I'm 5 minutes over the extra hour, so I've got to make a little break here. We've got new people learning how to join us for panel discussions on our radio shows for our ACO Radio Club. If you'd like to join, you can go and be a Patreon at patreon.com. My page is Teresa J. Morris, and I'm going to ask Ahmed if he will share his. He is our graphic artist, not just our general manager. So, Ahmed, could you turn your speaker back on for a moment? Tell us about the
yes, ma'am, but I'm not sure what my Patreon is.
Patreon? Is it a Mad Painter, or do you think it's the Mad Painter 13, or did you put it under Thomas Becker? Okay, well, we'll look that up. But in the meantime, tell us about, I'm holding the quill for my Society of Professional Journalists magazine, and I used to make one. It cost me roughly $1,500. I never broke even at $5 a copy for Bluegrass, but I'm looking at one. It's 11 by 17, and then they staple it, what they call a stitch, right? 2 stitches, staples in the middle. And we're talking about doing our own magazine, and a Mad Painter's got a beautiful cover for, I guess, Ahmed, tell us about the magazine if these people would like to join our club, ACO Club.
It'll be an e-book on Amazon, and it'll be offered there for non-members to buy, but members will get a copy of it free. It'll come out bi-monthly. And also, we're going to have a newsletter that comes out monthly for members. And the magazine will cover basically anything to do with space, alien contact, disclosure, and touch on some of the other subjects that we do cover on other shows. So I'm not even sure how much it'll cost for non-members, but until I publish it. So.
Okay, so we're going to say that we're going to put out a let's see, let me ask the journalist. I forgot if it's not monthly, Bruce, if it's every 2 months. I know we say biannual if it's every 6 months, but if it's, can we say bi-monthly every 2 weeks? Dave?
Well, how about quarterly? You can get enough information in a quarterly period of time. Is this going to be an internet publication, or is this going to be hard copies?
Yes, it's going to be internet. And now I'm pretty sure that Amazon will offer a hard copy of it too.
Okay.
But for the members, it'll be an e-book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would like to have your input. You're going to do 11 by 17,
it's not real
right?
Big. No, I'm not even sure. It's 8 by 11, I think.
8 by 11. Yeah, that'll fit on with a 1/4 inch around. So that should fit the normal magazine, or look like a book, the big school book or something by the time we get it stitched, or however they're going to do it. You have to have a minimum of 25 pages on the e-Kindles. At least that was when we had Create Space. So, but we'll look into all the publication part of it, I guess.
Now I'll have to look into that part, but I mean, it's set up as a magazine, and I'm pretty sure I mean, a lot of people make money off short stories selling them for $1. So, I don't see why they wouldn't put that together.
And you're doing, go ahead and mention your audio books and where they can find them. And go ahead and mention your shows, because we were at the top of the hour, but we went over. So go ahead, Ahmad, and give us Sunday and Monday shows.
I don't have the audio books up anywhere yet. The only place you can get them is having the archives at Revolution Radio. And they're there free if you're a member of the archives for the station.
The archives for the station would be under your open canvas. It's he does that by the how does Mike do that? Is it Mike Ringley? But you can go to revolution.radio and go into the website. Is that how he does his? Because we're all going to start something new here to support that.
Yeah, you just go to his website, and I think it's $6 a month for the archives, and they're there under ebook.
Okay. Oh, I see what he's doing. So you're saying that when you have your own radio show on revolution.radio, he provides the free archives, at least for a year or two, but he does still do the CD at the end of the year per radio show, and they would look up yours.
I think they're putting them on a jump drive now. And it's not free. It's $6 a month for the archives.
Okay, $6 a month, and I've got over 700, close to 800 here, and I've done a lot of them. We have over 700 shows.
You're letting people into your archives for free, and you could be charging a couple of dollars for them.
Well, we're going to put this together so we can pay for our secure drive and our archives.
Well, that's what it's for, is so you can keep going. I mean, there's no reason for it to come all out of your pocket. I mean, we have enough listeners that, if they kick in $1 or $2, then you would have no problem with the cost.
So that's a good idea. We're going to just copy a model out there already, folks, by Mike Ringley with freedomslips.com, revolution.radio, and Ahmad's been with him since his inception, right at 2012 when we started, or did he start in 2011? It was New Year's 2012, wasn't it?
Yeah, New Year's 2011, 12.
Okay, so he started the first. I didn't start till June for Bruce and Dave, but here on blogtalkradio.com is /TJ Morris ET Radio, where we keep our archives, and Janet Carol Lessin started her own as Aquarian Radio.
We don't need to pitch him no more. We need to pitch ACO.
Okay, well, that's what we're going to do then. We're going to start running this show as professional as he has. We just weren't accustomed to asking for donations for 7 years, so I've spent thousands, as has Janet, but we're holding our own archives. We pay monthly here, folks, just so you know. So we are going to get into a listener-supported radio station, and hopefully everybody can join us and make donations here. And my company is American Communications Online, and if you can write that down, it's at Gmail right now, where we keep our emails. I've got all these other places I've paid for, but we're going into one company, and I've got several websites, many websites. So, usually what we do is we help people get established if they want to be a author speaker at some of these events. And Janet and I have been doing this 7 years, as is Tommy. But Tommy and Janet would actually go to these events and have a table or work with another company or another humanoid type. But Janet has spoke at IUFO Congress and Contact in the Desert. And Tommy did, you did Congress. Tell them a little bit, Tommy, about what we're doing for the UFO Association, because I'd like to go to the IUFO Congress in August. I got our fill-out form, and it saves money, Tommy, if we all don't have to go individually, if we can share one company. And I think Ahmad's trying to help us do that, to work together. So, Tommy, it's your turn if you want to share something about what we're doing together, like Ahmad's doing ACO. If you're there. Are you there? Ahmed, can you hear me?